story it was. Thank you for listening. Hello. Thank you for listening. This is the near death experience of Kathaleen, and this experience occurred on November 27th, 1989. Open quote. I was so afraid to die. I was afraid of the pain I thought I would feel. Then I heard the doctor say, "Oh Lord, we're losing her." I then felt a pulling whoosh up and then was at the ceiling watching it all. I felt no pain at all. I did, however, feel the fainting, sick feeling you get before passing out, and I felt light and heard a buzzing noise. I then watched the doctors working on me. One of them was swearing terrible. I remember thinking, good Lord, he, God, can hear him. I was embarrassed for them all in the emergency room. I then went up, but don't remember moving. I was just in a really beautiful meadow of sorts, trees, stream, fish, grass, etc. Then I was in a place of the most beautiful silver white color. That's the best way I can describe the color of this place. The feeling was one of utter joy and love. I mean real, complete love, not of this earth. And peace, such peace. People were all around, but I couldn't tell you who they were. For some reason, it wasn't important. The path I was going down was important. Everyone was so happy to be with me. When I got to the final place on the way down this path, I knew I couldn't go any further if I wanted to go back to my life. I remember all this just as if it had just happened up there completely. Everyone was talking at once, so happy. I remember asking so many questions. The first was, how do I know you are Jesus? With my not ever seeing his face, he held out his hands. I saw a pair of completely spotless white, I mean clean hands, except for a light red streak mark up towards the palm wrist area. I saw really white, clean, flowing clothes on him, but knew if I looked in his face, I couldn't go back. I remember asking tons of questions and getting the answers. He and all the others there said I could stay, but it was just too early for me to be there. I said, pointing down, "Look, I've got real trouble down there. He has been beating me up for years and following me everywhere. I can't get away from him." Then he said something I can't remember. No, that's not the right word. It's as if it's on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't spit it out. Anyway, I then said, I don't want to leave here. It's so peaceful and lovely, and I want to stay. I then thought of my 9-year-old daughter and what would happen to her if I didn't go back. He showed me things in her life and mine to come. All this talking was pretty much through our minds, although we could use our mouths, but why do that when it isn't necessary? I made the immediate decision to come back for my daughter. I am a comical person by nature, so everyone was laughing and said I kept them all laughing up there. Anyway, I asked jokingly, "What's in it for me? Will I be in awful pain?" He said, "Pain? Yes. But you'll have help with it." I said, "Will I ever be safe from him?" He said, "Yes. I'll give you whatever to make it all okay." I said, "Will I ever find a person you meant for me to be with?" He said, "Yes, and he'd be wonderful. He'd send him when I was ready." He was already here for me, but I was to get all my troubles straightened out first so as not to put them all on him. Laughing, I said, "Well, he better be cute," and said, "You two will find each other irresistible because I put you two together a long time ago up here." I thought I'd find him waiting for me when I got back to Earth. As it happened, I just 7 months ago found him. Anyway, I then said my goodbyes, and after all that, he said I had much to do down there, pointing to Earth. I said, "What can I do for you? You've given me so much." He said, "Lots. I can't put my finger on, but when I complete something I was to do, I would know that was one of them." He mainly said, "Tell people of all this in those words. Just tell them. Most will listen and some believe, but that's not important. When they need to remember, it will help them." I remember saying, "When it's my time, will I be able to come back here?" And laughing, they all said, "Of course." I then said, "Okay," and whooshed down, for lack of a better word. I was now back over the gurney, watching the doctors work on me. I saw everything, heard everything, and whooshed back into my body, looking back to heaven, but couldn't see them anymore. Then I opened my eyes and told the doctor I'd be fine now. I told God I wanted to come back, and he said it wasn't my time. They all froze. He then said I was being intubated for my lungs and that he works on earthly things. I took his hand and said, "Doc, we all heard you up there swearing your head off trying to revive me. You embarrassed me talking like that, and I promise you I'm not going to leave again. I have work to do yet." Then they intubated me and gave me something to ease the pain as the tube went in. A few minutes later, I came to and motioned for pen and paper. I then started telling the place I'd been. People came over from all over the hospital to read what I'd written. I didn't know then that not everyone would want to hear it. The nurses sent a priest to help me deal with being on this plane again, as they called it. I told everyone I could for many years. I still tell people. I almost have to and need to. Also, I got a divorce and never looked back. It was as if I couldn't even see why I was frightened over it all. My life is so different since it all happened. I'm awfully sensitive to all drugs, can't even have a glass of wine. I'm super sensitive to lots of things. Emotions are everything to me. I actually feel people rather than guess as to their character. I can tell a bad person just by seeing them or over the phone or in a store. I don't hear voices, but I do feel guidance from the angels sent back with me. I know they are there. There is just so much to say about my new life now since coming back. I would take days writing it all. Suffice it to say, there is a heaven. This is a place of learning for where we are to spend eternity. We are to bring as many people back as possible, and the kindness or evil we do to each other causes people's lives to be forever changed. We affect possible generations to come. Even a harsh word could cause a person on the edge to turn away from God. So live it right, folks, and just give love and understanding if you can't do anything else. I'm no God or angel, just someone who knows for a fact there is another place, and what you do here, you take with you, good and bad. It's all about who you helped get through, over, around, and eventually back home. I do also have what I call weird thing. I sometimes know what's going to happen, like a psychic, but I just feel things before they happen. End of quote. That was a great story too, Kathleen. And your comic relief. Love that. Here's a couple questions. Let's see if there's some expounding. Did you suddenly seem to understand everything? Answer: everything about the universe, what we are here, and how to get back home, and to bring as many back with me as possible, which is why we're talking today. Question: did scenes from your past come back to you? Answer: I learned why we're here, I learned what to do here, and I know what real love is, not just what people on earth think it is. In all, this is millions of things to add. Question: did scenes from your future come to you? Answer: with my own and my daughter's, etc., I am completely right on, but this isn't the point. If it helps people to see I'm usually right about things, then so be it. Whatever lets them see there's more out there is fine with me. Question. Do you have any psychic, non-ordinary, or other special gifts after your experience that you did not have before the experience? Answer. Yes. Oh God. Yes. 3 exclamation marks. I feel people rather than just getting to know them. I'm aware of angels and helpers and know things before they happen. Mostly bad or harmful things to others and me. I can't take medicine, and if I do, I can only take a small amount. It affects me like crazy. I'm super sensitive around power and lightning. I seem to feel power. I'm super sensitive to emotions of people, incredibly so, especially bad people, for lack of a better word, because there are no bad people, just ones who don't know what's coming. Little children are drawn to me, and animals follow me everywhere. I really find it hard to even go to the zoo. Question. Are there one or several parts of your experience that are especially meaningful or significant to you? Answer. The best was I know I'm going to go home one day. The worst is I don't fit in here. I'm always going to be different. It gets lonely. Question. Is there anything else you would like to add about your experience? Answer. I'm finding ways to live here on earth, but sometimes it's lonely, and I thank God for you all and being able to discuss all this. I'm also grateful he finally sent the one exclamation mark. End of story. And what a great story it was. Thank you for listening.